basi hapa zororeke. Kana vachirangwa vachiri kushanda handizororeine. Imagine chamisa chaiye ari kutotsvaga basa. Kana mkoma wedu Borisi yakatozofira pabasa. Makore anofamba, only yesterday ndakanga ndiri kamba. Vanhu vachingondichamba, ndichizama zvinhu zvisingambofamba.
Welcome to the Gin and Jew podcast. Where
Glad to
I
be
am
here.
never, ever gonna tell you who the fuck I am.
But you are found
I-
on Twitter, comrade.
Of course.
Your
it's-
handle is @comrade Rasta.
You know it, bruh.
So, I mean, clearly,
They don't know I'm Comrade Rasta,
the
but
people
they
can
don't know
follow
who
you
the
at Comrade
fuck
Rasta.
I am.
Can I pour you a drink?
Of course.
Bas- I don't want to lie.
Take a sip.
Like the way she said, "Can I pour you a drink?"
My
Did
God,
you hear?
bro.
Can I pour
I'm
you
sorry,
a drink?
bro.
Can I pour you? Can I pour?
Yes. Don't you?
Can I pour you gin and Jew, boy? Gin and
At
Jew.
the risk of like offending the person who made the offer, I think if I make inappropriate response to it, just say that I'll take feminism 50 years back. I'm just that guy.
Yo, dog.
I am.
Let me just say.
I'm just that guy.
I feel like I sometimes live in these two separate worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Where on one hand I'm considered woke, and on the other hand I'm considered patriarchal. So like this podcast is very edgy for me because like just talking to you consistently is like I should cancel you. Like my activist friends think that I should cancel you. Like I shouldn't talk to you at all.
They're wrong, man.
So I mean, like I find that
At least
interesting.
you're still talking to me, man.
Yeah. So my name is Valentine Wrights. Yes, I'm on this Gin and Jew podcast, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about something that's very close and dear to my heart.
To him, not
It's
me.
to me. Like it's very close to my heart.
Emphasis.
This is the person that I support politics generally, but like I haven't supported anyone this much since Barack Obama in 2009. It's about my presidential candidate for 2020, the United States, Bernie Sanders.
Yak. Boom.
I support Bernie freaking Sanders, man.
The fucking commie, bruh.
Here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing. He
Fine,
calls
do you
himself
agree
a
with-
socialist. He calls himself a socialist. Even like he doesn't call himself a communist because I feel like we understand the limitations of communism, but he calls himself a socialist, and I'm okay with him being called a socialist.
Okay,
I think
that's
socialist is a positive term. That's just my opinion on this.
Positive.
Yeah.
Did you just say positive?
Yeah. Like we should all be socialists.
My guy. Socialism basically entails taking money from people with money or just productive people to give it to those who are not productive. How the fuck is that productive?
Because of lottery of market. So one of the
Lottery of market.
yeah, lottery of market. So one of the
Now I'll give you time, dog.
okay. So I'm just gonna tell you one of the interesting things about socialism. So a lot of people who support capitalism talk about merit, and they talk about how all of these people who do things in capitalist terms deserve what they get because of their merit. But I'll give you a good example about the Olympics, right? So all of these athletes who go to the Olympics are people who are very, very talented in their fields. And they all
Are you
work...
sure you want to use that example, my nigga?
Yeah, I'm sure I want to use
fine.
the example. So like everyone
You're
who's going to
digging all
go
your
to the
grave,
Olympics is going to put in work. They're going to dedicate themselves, whether they're in like gymnastics, they're in athletics, they're in long distance, they're in anything. They're going to put in work, right?
you.
And they're going to spend that 4 years trying to get that Olympic time and trying to do that work. But by the time they get to the Olympics, right, it's going to depend on what people want. If people want to see women in beach volleyball outfits, they're going to like beach volleyball. If people are going to like 100 meters, they're going to like 100 meters. If people are going to like synchronized swimming because somehow the ESPN has sold synchronized swimming is going to be great, they're going to like that. So that means that every athlete who's there at the Olympics has put in the work, right? And they are the best in their field. But the way that all of them are going to be rewarded for it is going to be different.
This guy is trying to make me out to be the villain. Okay, fine, continue, bro.
So my point is
It's okay.
Usain Bolt.
It's okay.
Usain Bolt, Michael Phelps, and the guy who throws the discus have all put in the work. But they're going to be rewarded differently. So that's lottery of market. So it doesn't mean that just because you get more, it means that you've put more into the system. So it's okay for us to take some from the wealthy and give to the less privileged, because the lottery of the market says that people who have got that stuff because the market rewards them for their efforts better than it rewards other people for it. That's my opinion. That's why I support Bernie Sanders. That's why I support socialism. That's why I support redistribution.
Wait, let me get this straight. Like, I don't want to quote you wrong. You're saying people put more effort, they've got more talent, and they should have that which they've attained by the virtue of their talent and effort, right?
Yes.
Have some people take from them to give people who have put in less effort and talent.
No, that's my point.
What's your point?
My point is that we all put effort into life, but the rewards that our efforts yield depend on the lottery of the market.
Okay,
we can't control how much our effort is going to be rewarded.
Okay. Let's say this.
That, yeah.
Fuck. There's a woman that's nodding in the studio. Like, I'm fucking disturbed. I'm disturbed. I'm disturbed.
You're disturbed by logic, You're disturbed by logic.
And fucking acknowledging what you're saying. And I'm disturbed. No, it's fine. You can keep it until you say something. Okay. So we agree that there's some who contribute more.
Yes.
But they don't have
to society. Let me finish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are some who contribute more monetary wise. Let's not be ambiguous about the nature of the contribution. There are some who contribute more monetarily.
Yes.
And those who contribute less want to get the benefit of those who contribute more monetarily. Is that correct?
So my point is...
No. You're not answering the question. Don't talk about your point.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll say that.
Say yes.
There are some who contribute more monetarily who should distribute to others who contribute less monetarily. 100%.
Okay, fine. Okay, right.
I've stopped nodding my head.
No, because my point is money. Money is a construct of a market that is arbitrary. Like our markets,
arbitrary.
Our markets.
Yo. Let's bring that shit back. Okay, what does arbitrary mean?
Arbitrary means that it's not related to your effort. That's my point. Like, arbitrary means it's not related to your effort. It's not related to your talent. It's not related to your...
Do you not realize how your response just sounds wacky?
No, listen, you're born into...
You're saying... Let me finish.
You're not
I want you to address what the fuck I'm saying. You are saying it's arbitrary, and at the same time, what is arbitrary is giving you more money. Is that correct?
That's my
arbitrary means you don't choose the culture that you select to be born into because that's determined by the family that you're born into. You don't choose your nationality because Zimbabwean isn't a perspective of your own individual choice, but what you're born into geographically speaking. These geographical boundaries determine the level of institutionalization that determines your individual actions, because being Zimbabwean comes with its own ideology
Okay.
or its own definition. So these aren't things you decide, but because you're born into a Zimbabwean family, certain ideals are imposed onto your personality because you were born in a geographical location. So we're not saying that arbitrary things should define your existence, but the fact that you were born into a certain environment seems that certain things are going to be expected for you, courtesy of where you were born.
Okay, let me jump
That's
in.
what arbitrary is.
Let me jump in for neck. Like, that guy sounded fucking super intelligent. Yeah.
I hate you.
Okay, fine.
You're born into
Like, I don't know, bro.
circumstances
Okay,
beyond
that's
your
enough. Let him reply.
Okay, fine. He sounded super intelligent. Antonio Pera.
I believe it.
But ultimately, bro, he ain't saying shit. Why I say that is that if you bring something of value to the community or market you're dealing with, you will get rich. If you don't bring that which the market or community which you're dealing with deems as valuable, you'll be fucking broke.
Okay,
Just because you think something is valuable, it doesn't mean that the community to which you're delivering it onto will consider it as valuable.
Again, that sounds
you only love a woman because you buy her diamond rings.
Oh,
In actuality,
are people
diamonds are
convinced?
only-
Is the market convinced that
Yes,
of
that's
the
why
same?
you're going to buy
the market is flawed. That's my
Exactly.
point. The market is flawed. The market
If the market
flawed.
is convinced that whatever the fuck you're selling has got value, then fuck it, you get that value. But if
The
you
market
fail,
is flawed.
man,
My
it
point is the
depends,
market is flawed.
wakashanda kare asi hapa zororeke kana vachirangwa vachiri kushanda handizororeine imagine chamisa chaiye ari kutocha.
welcome to the Gin and Jew podcast.
So I have a question for you, Comrade Rasta.
Yeah, man.
Do you think that your effort while you are living in this country right now and all your talent, your effort, your endeavor, the amount of monetary return that you get is comparable to anyone who lives in a functional country? That's a question.
I think it's less, bro.
That's my point.
To be
So,
honest.
so do you think?
I
do you
deserve
think that's
more.
fair? Do you think that's fair that you work
But
12 hours a
But
day?
it's not about my feelings, though. It's about what the market actually recognizes to be my value.
I'm not saying that the market doesn't.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm not saying that the market. I'm saying my point is the market is
We
flawed.
cannot base what the market says on our feelings, bro.
The market is wrong.
What do you mean it's wrong?
The market does not reward effort.
Who
It does
says
not reward
it's wrong?
skill.
Who says it's
I'm
wrong?
saying it's wrong. I'm saying the market does not
Wait,
reward
wait,
effort. The market does not require
You
skill.
is
No,
yourself.
my point is you need to tell me why the market is right. Just because the
I'm
market
saying,
does it, it doesn't mean that it's right.
everybody. Okay, fine. Let me explain why.
Yeah.
If you are saying that the market requires your skill set, right? And
Yes.
and there is demand for your skill set, right?
Yes.
Which
Yes.
means you can peg a price that you want for your skill
That is
set.
different. I'll disagree with you. I'll
Why?
tell you that
Why?
essential workers in the United States have been paid significantly less than all these billionaires that own all of these startups. So what you see is that the
Why
market,
though?
My point-
Why don't they demand more?
No,
if it's
they
essential,
they can't demand
let me
more.
finish.
They don't have the power to demand more.
Listen, if they want your fucking service or your product, you have the power because they want that service or market.
No, my point.
If you can
I
withhold,
disagree.
listen,
I disagree.
I haven't finished.
Okay.
If you've got the capacity to withhold your market or service to the point in which the market will incentivize you to pay more by paying more for your market, for your service or your product, right? You are not willing to give us your product at 65 cents. If we offer $1.50, are you willing to give us your product? right?
So
If you are willing, then therefore your market appreciates. Listen, let me finish.
okay, finish.
Appreciate your service at $1.50 and 65 cents, right? Therefore, you are deserving of that which you're giving. So if you say that I deserve $1.50 and your market agrees with you, then you are deserving of that estimation of your worth. But if you say that I'm worth $1.50 when you're worth 20 cents, then you are not deserving whatever the fuck you're worth. That means the market can do without you, bruv. It can do without you. It can do without you.
We need to appreciate that we have a guest in the studio, which the market appreciates, but just suddenly got so drunk.
The market is
He is appreciating song.
the market is determined by sociological perspective. We need to go deeper
And you don't go. I agree with you, motherfucker. Why the fuck are you fucking disagreeing with me?
Economics is primarily determined by consumer behavior in relation to
Yeah. Chingwa chite 10 US.
So the idea is that the
Ojera chingwa wantika mabotato.
So my point,
market is proportional to what consumers want. So
Exactly.
consumers,
I disagree. So my point is this. My point is like when you look at like this COVID-19,
All commies are fucking
the
autocrats. Why the fuck did you not allow this man to finish what he was saying?
COVID-19 has shown.
I'm just saying.
COVID-19 has shown that the market demands doctors. The market demands essential workers. The market demands people who deliver services. The market demands all of these people who are bringing intel about science, about spreading of coronaviruses, about risk management. The market demands all these frontline workers, but the market is not compensating these frontline workers in a proportional way. The market is rewarding Mark Zuckerberg. The market is rewarding Jeff Bezos.
Because everyone is on fucking Facebook and everyone wants products from Amazon.
My point is like I'm not saying that Facebook is bad.
Withhold.
I'm saying
Withhold your service to see how much you see.
At the point at which that power is disproportionate, like people need Facebook, and because Facebook knows that people need it, they can disproportionately determine their price, they can disproportionately determine their value, they can disproportionately determine their services. So Bernie Sanders, as an ideal, is one that talks about human beings and how much human beings contribute to society, besides the arbitrary nature of dollar values that the market ascribes to it. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
With everything that's happening in Zimbabwe, why are we so focused on what's happening in the States?
No, the reason why I say that is because I feel like this should happen here as well. Like when people talk about ethanol and whether ethanol deserves the price that it's paid for, I'll tell you that the market is not a proportional idea. When people talk about teachers and how much teachers deserve to be paid, I'll tell you that the market is a bad idea on determining that value. When people talk about whether you should go to university and what degree you should do and what that value of that degree that you do at university, whether it's psychology, it's law, it's finance, I'll tell you that the market is a bad determinant of what that value should be. When people go to the stock exchange and buy shares, I'll tell you that the market is a bad idea about what that value should be. So I don't think that Bernie Sanders, just because he's in America, is only about American ideals. It's about universal ideals about what the market should be and what we should do to the people that are less fortunate. When 7.7 million Zimbabweans are suffering from food insecurity from the UN rapporteur, we need to begin to understand that socialism is an idea that we need to buy into. That it just doesn't mean that just because you're Delta and you can sell more beer than everyone else, then 7.7 million people need to suffer from hunger. We need to understand that that redistribution is not just something that is necessary, but it's something that is just, because the market is a bad determinant of value. That's my point.
Okay, fine. Before I engage you, my guy, what is the definition of just?
Just is what is right. And like, that's an individual concept, which is why I'm asking you. Not I'm asking you what your parent told you, what your mother told you, what your philosophy told you, what your ideology told you, what your political party told you. As individuals, we need to determine what just is.
Are
we need
you
to understand
in a
what value is.
position? Listen, are you in a position to give us a justification or a definition of what is right?
Yeah.
Tell us.
I just told you.
Tell us.
That for
what
me,
is right?
effort
is right?
and skill is something that must be rewarded.
Yeah.
It's an idea that
Is that where you end your justification? What is right?
So
effort and skill.
So I'm saying effort and skill should be rewarded.
Okay, and then?
Yes. So that's my point.
You limit yourself there.
I'm saying then.
So if I have got the effort and skill to determine that which is wanted by the market, right? Should I not be rewarded above that the person who doesn't have the same effort and skill to really understand?
Which is my point.
Listen.
That's why socialism exists.
To understand that this is what the market wants and this is what I can deliver to the market.
Which is my point. So my point is socialism doesn't mean that everyone is going to get the same. Mm-hmm. Socialism actually rewards people of effort and skill more than they
Does socialism take from those who have the capacity?
Takes some.
Listen, let me finish.
Some.
I haven't finished.
It takes some.
Why are you answering my question before I ask it, my nigga?
Okay.
I'm saying, does socialism reward or take from those people who they have taken more from the market than those who haven't?
It does.
It does.
Yes.
And then does socialism take away from those people without any justification?
I'm saying that this is the justification.
What's the justification?
I'm giving you the justification that socialism doesn't mean that we're all going to earn the same. Socialism simply says that we understand that you have earned an element of you getting more from the market.
Okay.
But you haven't earned all of it. So taxation is a good idea.
So it takes away from the productive and gives to the unproductive. Is that correct?
I say that it takes away from the productive and gives away to also the productive, but it understands that productivity and market value are not synonymous. So just because you are productive doesn't mean that the market is going to reward you for it. That's my point.
Okay.
Like, people are going to be productive,
fine.
but they're not going to
tell me who's productive and the market doesn't reward for.
I'll tell you, for example, teachers in Zimbabwe are some of the best and most productive assets in the world, and they are paid $40 a month. Do you think $40 a month is going to be proportionate to the work that teachers in this country do?
Watch my response. Do you not think that their compensation for their services is based on the fact that education has been largely being monopolized by the government? If education is to be privatized, don't you think that teachers would get more from the service that they provide?
I'm not so sure.
To whom they provide it.
I'll be honest, I'm not so sure.
What do you mean you're not so sure?
Amazon workers are privatized. Facebook workers are privatized, and they still get paid peanuts.
Allow me to, but Amazon as a whole is paid more.
Yes,
by virtue of
the money goes to Jeff Bezos.
It's fine.
It doesn't go to the workers who work in the factory.
Thank you. The person who came up with the idea to fucking deliver packages at the people's doorsteps is getting more money for the fact that he can actually provide it.
All right, so
now let me go deeper on the issue of education. If education in Zim was to be privatized, let's say government sells its holding in all community educational facilities, which means like even the schools in the fucking rural areas are privatized. Then the person who buys those schools acknowledges the value that is bringing to the people who receive that service, right? And charges fees according to the extent of value that he gives, don't you think there will be more?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Value given in the market.
Okay, so I feel like we need to
And wind it up, nigga.
in his
Because you know Bernie Sanders is shit, nigga.
So this podcast is just going to be people who disagree and don't get to a conclusion. I feel like that's just
I feel everyone agrees with me except for you, my nigga.
I feel like
I give it to the population.
You need more gin and Jew. So we're going to ask our viewers. Do you think the market is a good determinant of value?
Okay.
That's our open question.
And while you ask our viewers, I'm going to ask you the very same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I say no. What do you
is your
say?
answer premised on the benefits that you get from what Valentine is suggesting, or on the reality of the value that you actually get?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for coming.
And whether that value is sustainable.
Thank you for coming to another episode of Gin and Jew.
Masiwa kashanda kare asi apa zororeke. Kana bachi yang babachiri kushanda handi zororene. Imagine chamisa chaiye ari kutochaga basa. Kana mkoma wedu borisi yakatozofira papasa.
Makorea no kamba, only yesterday in the kangandiri kamba. Kanga chingo ndi chamba,